Good evening, all. Welcome to round 7, season 2 of the CXR Mazda MX5 leagues. And today we are at Oulton Park Island. With me today, we've got Ruben in the commentary box.
Good evening.
Good evening. And we've got young McDougall in the editing suite.
Evening, guys. Evening. The editing suite. I feel that sounds quite special. I like it.
It does,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Special for a special man. There you go. And hopefully, I haven't seen on the old chat, but hopefully we got RC in tonight, which is going to be Aaron and Neil, hopefully. But I'm sure they'll post a comment in the old chat box. So evening, guys, if you're there. Oh, so quali's underway. 2 minutes gone out of the 15 minutes allocated.
Alex Hurt on his first lap.
Not my favourite track, I must admit. But hey ho, each to their own.
What?
Nah, it's not for me. This I've got touring car nightmares from when we used to race around here on Project Cars. I still have flashbacks. Those concrete barriers are nasty.
They definitely are actually. Yeah, the tyres are a little bit harder than what tyres are supposed to be, I would say.
Yeah, they were like just concrete bollard things, weren't they? The old, I can't remember what you call them, just like barricades, I suppose. Well, it'll be interesting with the tyre model, given the MX5 a few problems last week, wasn't it, at Donington with the elevation changes, and this one's even worse, isn't it, with all the bumps and lumps?
Yeah, we saw quite a lot of people struggling with, especially when the tires are a little bit cold, with the, like you say, the elevations on track, which makes it difficult. But we're gonna see how that will pay out, especially during the race. But first, we've got qualifying, and Alex Hurt puts first time in with 37.280. And Duncan Kirby right behind with 37.294.
Looks like Oulton Park could do with a resurface as well, if that's a true reflection of the circuit. At least you won't have problems finding the racing line, I suppose. It's the only bit they bothered to re-tarmac looking at it. Right, so where are we on the standings in? So let's have a quick look through the standings. At the moment, we've obviously split into pro and amateur. Leading the pro championship will probably be no surprise to those follow, and that's Juanme Torres. He's romping away with it. In fact, I'm pretty sure if he finishes in the points today, he's wrapped it up. He's 40 odd points, 46 points ahead of second place, which is Arone Martin. With Luis Santiago completing the Spanish podium, another 20 odd points behind. So yeah, that's more or less sealed up. And then looking at the amateur championship briefly, Kenneth Andreassen's having a barnstormer. Currently 58 points ahead of Chris Needham, currently in second, with Darren Goebel taking up the podium spot in third at the moment. So looks like seconds to play for, but I suspect Kenneth's more or less sewn this up. Well, he has, I think. Again, just a finish will see him through, I think.
Now, we do have a few people missing today, obviously. So, Jamie Christie's, was it his girlfriend or wife? I can't remember which it was, but unfortunately taken to hospital. So, hopefully she's okay.
Yeah.
And hopefully we see Jamie
hopefully
back.
Hopefully he wasn't cooking for her.
Well, you never know. You never know. Let's see else. Who else we got missing? Yannick Ford, no, Yannick's there. I thought it was Hector Hernandez Ramirez who wasn't going to make it today, but he's here, so yeah. And Dennis Meisner. Lewis Morga.
Is it one of the... What's the team again?
Yeah, BritTech.
BritTech Simsport?
Craig Harris and Daniel James.
Oh, we're missing both. All right. So currently, P1, Mr. Torres with a 135.7, almost half a second quicker at the moment than Mr. Martin. And Alex Hurth only 0.004 of a second behind in P3. Then we've got Duncan Kirby in P4. Mr. Hector Ramirez in P5. Darren Goebel with a good P6 at the moment. Arnaud Chanonier in P7. Yannick Fouquet in P8. Chris Slaymaker in P9. Luis Santiago P10. Chris Needham in P11. Matt Grant P12. Jason Headington in P13. And P14 is... Don't say anything. Who's P14? Who's P14?
Kieran.
It
Oh,
says
Kieran
Will.
Williams. Kieran Williams.
Kieran Williams.
Yeah, sorry, had to look it up. Martin closed the gap. No, he didn't. He did close the gap to 100ths of a second, or sorry, 10th. But Mr. Torres puts in another quick lap, and it's a 35.4. So he's flying as usual. So Phil, what kind of track conditions are we looking at today?
Let's just take a look at the weather. So 29 degrees track temperature, 18 degrees ambient. It's not very windy as well. Partly cloudy, so I don't think it's going to get any higher than 29 degrees. I'd be very surprised in England. I mean,
like Mark would say, mildly moist.
Only mildly. He's not as moist
mild.
as the
Yeah, I
other.
would say it was mild.
Yeah, mild. Oh, yeah, it's borderline.
But still, the track temp's 29.
What's the compass thing then? Is that orientation or something?
No, I think the direction of the wind, maybe.
The direction of wind. Yeah,
What, 335 degrees?
well, that's a good point. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe north is 0, so that would be.
And 1020 HPA, something Pascal, is that?
That's the pressure,
hell
isn't
is
it?
that?
The air pressure.
Ah, right, okie dokie. Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
Just
Somebody in chat maybe could tell, but I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't take my meteorological course, whatever it is. So 15 have posted the time so far. Quite a gap between Mr. Torres, who's currently quickest, and Kieran Williams currently in 15th. So hopefully these times will come down a little bit. There is a little group between 3rd and 8th at the moment. So we're coming up 2/3 of quali done.
I think we will see some nice drifting around this track, for what I can see in the qualifying session already, especially turn 2 going downhill.
Yeah, for the practice session as well, we saw a lot of people. I mean, obviously in a practice session, you're going to see more crashes and more people spinning because you're trying to find the limits of the track. But yeah, turn 2 going to be a key one, or is it technically turn 3? I guess the
Yeah, turn 2,
right-hander.
3, the slight, yeah. But that's one, and the second to last turn as well, the downhill right. It's going to be a tricky one as well, but also that's a part of the track where we're probably going to see some overtakes. Because especially through the double right-hander, sorry, I don't know all the names of this track, or at least of the turns. Oh, and there's the Arnaud Chanonier going off at turn 1 and hits the wall, so you'll have to give it another go. But yeah, if you get a good run out of that double left-hander onto that back straight, then yeah, that second to last turn could give you a good opportunity to overtake a person in front of you.
Is that Arnold?
That's Arnaud. Yeah.
Well, oh, no one's gone off.
You see that Alex Hurt and Hector Ramirez have pretty much got identical times.
Yeah, only 0.002 of a second.
You got the same with Mr. Hannington and Chris Needham. 3,000 in it.
Yeah, it's close. Well, even if you would count in Matt Grant, who's currently P13, he's also in the 138.4. Well, if we should go off from these lap times, we could be up for some nice battles on track.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, but you've just said it now, so.
Context curse. Let's confuse him and put a rolling start in this week.
Oh, Dennis Meister's just joined into the session, so we now have 17.
Right on cue.
Kenneth Engel Andreasen is yet to put in a lap time.
Oh, that's why it's 17. Or he was relatively late at qualifying at Donington as well, although he was in the session. It seemed like he waited quite a long time. Oh, yeah, that's a known issue, Kenneth. Good luck on quali.
Child problems?
Oh,
Child problems sorted.
Nothing cowpole don't sort out.
Just gave him a little zip of a whiskey.
That's it, a bit of cowpole, job done, isn't it? Bit of night nurse or something.
But yeah, like I said, I know the issue, as we saw last week.
Yeah, we can't play Where's Ruben today, it's a bit disappointing. What's anything exciting on the old button boxing today, Phil?
Anything exciting on the button box?
Yeah, any little audio clips you want to play, or everything all right?
No audio clips for today.
Oh, I would have thought he would have played the "Hi everybody."
Yeah, like last week.
When I was starting to talk.
Where's Ruben?
Oh, he's only had that one. Oh, nice. So again, good evening to everybody watching. If you got any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll try to answer them.
Just a minute and 15 left of qualifying to go.
So we've got an all top 4 Spanish competition going on.
Front 2 rows locked out.
Well,
oh, I've just realised as well, Santiago's in Sydney. So that's nearly oh lordy. It's a good job it's not England beat Spain. It's a bit like the football, isn't it? Getting battered. We'd even adopt Chris Laymaker as a Brit. Can't believe he's gone Canadian. What's that about? Traitor. He's obviously on Mexit train, isn't he? But Dennis Meisner's currently on his fastest lap, if I'm reading the indicators right.
Yeah, you are. So let's see what he's gonna put in as a lap.
And I've just realised it's actually his first lap. So of course it'll be.
Oh, Dennis also had a put to lap. Oh.
It didn't count, so he must have had an off track during that lap.
Is that him there?
He definitely has one now.
Nasty.
With the time left, I reckon that's gonna be a start from the back.
Well, he did it last week. He weaved his way through nicely, didn't he?
He definitely did.
Who was the other one, Phil, you said? To post the time?
Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth Engel Andreasen. We're watching him now.
Yep. I thought it was 2. There was 17, wasn't there?
And Dennis Meisner.
Oh, Dennis Meisner. Oh. So the first one who hit was Dennis then. I can't tell on these cars. Rawr. So Mr. Torres is still going round. He's just put the fastest sector 2 and 4 times in on the track at the moment.
That is it. That will be qualifying over. Where does he? No, so he puts himself into 10th.
Oh, he has. He's just posted a 1:35.1. That's a massive lap.
Knowing that his first, third, and I think only the first and third sector were yellow.
Luis Santiago just went
only
up
be a little bit off.
P5th.
P5th. So we've got a top 5 all Spanish
Lockout. Nice. Unless Chris can do something here. Would you be able to put the track map up, dear boy?
Sure can.
Uh-huh.
So Kenneth Andresen has put himself in P10.
Oh, look at that. After all that, he's gone in the pit lane. What's that about?
Well, I think he was 4 or 5 yellow sectors, so he probably thought, I'm not gonna gain anything out of it. So that's qualifying done.
Waiting for the
Little
results to
Butterworth.
come through before everyone starts gridding up, and there will be a standing start this week because I remembered. I remembered
Didn't
to
use
look.
settings then.
Over to one of you guys.
Go on, Ruben.
So on the front row we've got Juanme Torres and Iriel Martin. Second row we've got Hector Ramirez and Alex Hurth. Third row we've got Luis Santiago and Duncan Kirby. The fourth row Arnaud Chanier and Chris Slaymaker. The fifth row Darren Goebel and Kenneth Andresen. Sixth row Yannick Fouquet and Jason Headington. Waiting on the screen. Oh. And the seventh row, Chris Needham and Matt Grant. Eighth row, Ken Williams and Dave Pedersen. And the ninth row, Dennis Meisner. So there we have it. People griding up.
Has anyone heard from the boys in race control? Just out of interest. Are they alive?
Never normally hear from them until after the actual race.
No,
anyway.
they normally chuck in a text on the old chat room. Hint, hint.
Ooh, we got lights. We have lights. Go racing.
Ooh.
And we're off. Seems like Mr. Torres has a good start. Iriel Martin.
Duncan Kirby got a bit of a very bad start. He's lost two positions to Darren
Oh, and a little
Goebel.
bit of contact with Kenneth Andresen at turn 1, but they're all through.
So this will be the first tight hairpin. Let's see who. Hopefully, no one overcooks it. Shall see.
And all goes well. All goes well.
They are.
But
They're all through.
Torres and Martin are immediately pulling a gap already to P3. From P3 onwards, it's a nice little train going on.
Well, we've got someone, one of the RW.
Oh, he's just gone off.
I think it's Jason Hannington.
Yep.
But he could control it quite well, so he's only off onto the grass. And you so have to watch out for that outside curb coming through the double.
Oh no, Duncan
right-hander.
Kirby's just made a mistake. He's actually, he's gone off and he's hit the wall, I think.
Darren Goebel as well. Oh no, it wasn't. That was Duncan Kirby. Sorry, misread that.
Ah, yeah.
Cooked it on the curb.
Goedenavond, Frosty Bird. Good evening.
Good Narvin or whatever it was. Yeah.
Wow, that's a shame for Duncan. Cold tires, outside curb. Didn't work for him this time. So that's the first casualty already, but he's got a free repair and he was close to the pit, so that's a little bit of a plus point for him. But it'll be a long race, although we've got 45 minutes to go. Yeah, I remember Frosty Bird from some old school Project Cars 2 racing. Well, I'll keep it to English, I won't go Dutch.
Freaky deaky Dutch.
Freaky deaky Dutch. Could you pull up the intervals, Phil?
And
That way we've got a little
and
bit of
there we go.
insight of how close people are.
This Meisner
We
just
see
moved into
Martin. Martin
P10.
is dropping places back. Yeah, he crashed. Martin crashed.
Same thing as Duncan Kirby. I think he's just gone a little bit wide, lost the back end. And does he end up in the wall? He doesn't, so he has saved his car. That's now just going to be a long race for him to try and get back into position.
Lucky.
Nice and safely in the gap though, so...
We know he's quick, so he's gonna have to fight his way through the field again.
Yeah,
But
that's left
that means
Torres by
that,
himself. So I mean, you never know when
yeah.
someone's put by themselves. You can just switch off. You can make mistakes, or you can just go into ultra qualifying mode and just put lap after lap in. So
going on from the first rounds or the rounds we had before, I reckon it's gonna be the qualifying laps and just putting in quick lap times. But he's already 6 seconds ahead now. But we've got a nice little battle going on, and here we see a little move of Jason Haddington.
Ooh,
Oh,
just clipped. Oh no, has someone gone off as a result there?
I think he just clipped Duncan Kirby
I
slightly.
think that's Kirby. Oh
He's
dear.
not having the best race then, poor soul.
No, is he?
No, he's out. So Duncan Kirby and Jason Haddington are both out of the race already. And we only got one fast repair, do we, Phil?
Yeah, just one fast repair. So I suppose if Duncan's already used it and he's just slammed his car into the wall, I don't know whether he did. Oh, there's a little bit of tap in there.
Looks like Aaron will have something to do.
Yeah, I think Arne Chalonier came in a little bit too hot there. Maybe misjudged his brake point, but oh, Alex Hurt's car seems really damaged on the rear end side of his car.
Ooh. Went a bit hot there.
That's gonna be suspension damage.
Oh look, it's weaving all over the shop.
But we've got race control to sort it out, so they will have a look into it.
So Yannick Fourcade's having a good race up into 6th currently.
Yeah, up 5 places. And Darren Goebel's up 2 places in P7 at the moment as well, so... Cheers for the subs, Aaron and Ruben.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. And Kenneth Engel Andresen is in P5. P5. Dennis Meisner in P10. Starting from the back, so he's having a good race so far.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, I'm Hector Hernandez. I don't know. He just slowed down a lot in the corner, mid-corner. I'm not too sure about that one. I don't know who you could put the blame on that one. Lost a lot of positions. Let's put him back behind Alex Hurt into P13. From P2 to P13. Brutal. That's Matt Grant just gone off track. Everyone is struggling with this. Right?
I think it's to do with all the little, like I said earlier, there's a lot of subtle elevation changing. It unsettles the car. The Mazda wasn't the best behaved car.
No, but it didn't seem that Hector Hernandez was struggling with traction
Ooh.
or any sort of that. Oh, Matt Grant hitting the wall quite hard. And we see another almost spin there.
So Mr. Santiago, just looking at the times, is a 10th behind Kenneth Andreasen at the moment, who's now in a podium spot.
But look at the gap from Mr. Torres to Chris Slaymaker, who's in P2.
Yeah.
11
That's a different time zone, that
seconds.
is. What were you, 5-6 laps through? 5 laps, I'm guessing.
His last lap was a 136.0 and Chris Slaymaker did a 137.3, so that's 1.3 seconds on only one lap.
Roman Martin has just overtaken Arnold Channonnet on the inside going into the chicane. Built up a little bit of a gap actually just in those last few corners. Luis Santiago takes the inside on Kenneth Andreas and puts himself back into up into P3. Chris Slaymaker slipped into P2 without us even looking.
Yeah, and I think that all had to do with the incident with Hector Hernandez Ramirez.
Yeah, and Luis Santiago was it? I think when they came together on turn 2.
And as well, of course, the position he gained from Mr. Martin. But that's how it can go. If you can keep it clean yourself, then yeah, of course, you could gain a lot out of it. Oh, we've got a nice little battle between Luis Santiago, Kenneth Andreasen, and Mr. Fouquet for P3. And close behind is Darren Goebel, so that's a nice four-way battle on track.
Ooh. I think Dennis just got a slight tap from Alex Hurt, but I mean, very difficult to.
That's enough to unsettle the car, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just a slight tap. It's just unsettled the back of the car and away he's gone. So
that's very unlucky, very unlucky. Knowing he did a good job coming from the back of the grid. Now has to start all over because he's back into P15.
Oh, bad news, Phil. City are 2-0 up. That'll cheer you up no end.
cheers for that.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
Oh, what's happened with Mr. Pedersen?
He's out. What's happened there? Have you got any replays from Mr. Patterson at all?
This dreaded last corner, he's going to lose the back end, isn't he? And just spin off to the side. No, he's not.
Oh. What's happened there then?
Oh,
No idea,
Dennis Meisner nearly lost it.
I don't know. He didn't lose it there. Didn't seem to lose it there either. So yeah, we'll go back live. I can't seem to find that one.
Oh, what I'm seeing through iRacing is that David Pedersen received throughput fell to unacceptable level. So maybe that's
internet issue.
So his internet's dropped
an
out.
internet issue. Yep.
The old hamster's not running quick enough.
So Dennis Meisner back into P13. and close behind Matt Grant. So he's looking to get that position back again. But the battle for third place is still going on. And they are catching Chris Slaymaker. So
Yeah, Chris is under a little bit of pressure now, so he's got a train of what, 5 cars behind him or 4 cars behind him.
that's looking like it's going to be a good battle. Yeah, Luis Santiago now right on the back of Chris. Oh, Mr. Fouquet running a little bit wide. And that means that Mr. Martin has got that position, I reckon. Yeah, Martin is already up to P5 now.
Yeah, and he's going to get the inside line for the next corner as well, so that's going to cement that move done.
And Dennis Meisner is into the pit as well as Matt Grant, so
It's about that time, so 13 minutes in. We have seen it before with people pitting quite early around about this time, so I would say that's a scheduled pit stop.
Yeah, that's probably right on the edge of the window, I would have thought.
so Luis Santiago putting the pressure on Chris. And Kenneth not far behind, so could be interesting for Kenneth as he is the leading AM driver in this championship, but he's looking at a podium position in the overalls. So
David Patterson, I think, is back out.
Yeah, he's in the pit, it says, yeah. Dennis Meisner, I'm assuming, is he under repair still? Was his the scheduled stop?
he is still in the pits.
Oh,
So
he's coming out now. Right.
oh, and I've now seen that Dave Pedersen had connected to the session, but now has manually disconnected. So he's probably still struggling with a little bit of internet issues. And Mitsutor is leading the race with almost a 20-second gap to P2.
There's been a little bit of a mistake there for Chris Slaymaker, and he might actually have Luis Santiago coming up on the inside into the chicane. He's probably going to get the position, I would imagine, because Chris is going to have to yield that one.
Ouch.
And look at Kenneth, Engel and Andreessen close behind as well, trying to make advantage. And Mr. Martin joins in as well, so that's interesting. But Chris, yeah, he loses the position to Santiago. That puts Santiago in P2, Chris in P3, and yeah, Kenneth and Martin close behind. So it looks like Kenneth has a good run here, but will he stick it on the inside?
Meanwhile, Darren Goebel is caught up to the back of Yannick Fouquet as well, so Romain Martin gets past Kenneth Engel Andreasen, puts himself up into P4. That sounded like someone's engine just blew.
I think that was Dennis Meisner because he was still in the pit.
Oh, yeah. It says pit, it said pit exit for ages.
It sure looked like it was Dennis. Having a little look, yeah, it was Dennis. At the point, it sounded like the point that he wanted to drive out of his box. The engine just blew.
Sounds a bit bizarre, that.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Oh no, I think he's got other issues because I'm looking at it now. I'm rewinding it a little bit, and it seems like he's doing burnouts into the pit. And he is. Up until the point that his engine blew, so not quite sure what was going on there.
Oh
It's gone
no.
very wide there. Oh no, no.
And that is very disappointing for both Yannick 4K and Darren Goebel. So Darren's lost quite a few positions there. 4 positions. Meanwhile, we still have that battle between Luis Santiago and Romy Martin's gone for the inside at the last corner. I think he's going to actually make the move stick. He is, unfortunately for Chris Slaymaker, he's going to make that move stick and go into P3. Puts Chris back into P4. P4th.
P4th. Well, Chris tried to hang it out around the outside, but yeah, Martin has the inside for turn 1 now as well, so...
Meanwhile, this is letting Luis Santiago just slip up the road, isn't it? So...
Yeah, although we know that Martin is a quick driver as well, normally he's about the same pace as Torres, it's going to be a hard time overcoming a 22-second gap, almost 23 seconds. And a little bit of update on David Pedersen, but his game crashed, so
Oh.
it's unfortunate, but...
I saw Jason had VR issues.
Yeah.
Which... I think anyone with a VR headset knows all about them.
Is it not very stable then, Phil?
It just depends. It just depends on like what's running on your system and what decides to wake up and do weird things. Anyway,
Always a meltdown every now and then.
Anyway, you've got a nice little battle going on
ooh,
between
a
Kenneth
little bit of a
and Chris
tap there at the
Slaymaker.
back.
Ow, ow, ow! Little love tap. I thought I was going to hit him a lot harder than it did there.
I must say, I think that Kenneth did nicely by not going for it anyways and just...
Yeah, he just
kept
waited
behind
for Chris. Yeah, waited for Chris to carry on, which is the correct move. If you've made a mistake, that is the correct move. Just wait for the car to regain its traction and whatever, and then carry on racing. So we got Alex Hurt on the back of Yannick 4K at the moment, battling out for P8.
Yeah, Martin has just overtaken Luis Santiago, so he's in P2.
Kieran Williams is in the pits, taking his first pit stop of the day. Alex Hurt is going to go for the inside, going into the chicane. He's probably going to get the move done. We've seen this, a few people making this move so far. Just get it successfully done, so he moves himself up into P8.
Oh.
Just seen Matt Grant overtake Kieran Williams as Kieran Williams comes out the pits.
In the meantime, Chris is still holding or defending his position against Kenneth.
Like a Rome was about to go a little bit wide there at turn 1, but he's managed to hold it on track, and he's made his way back over into P2. And actually, we'll go back and have a look at that pass because I think we missed it on stream. So
Yes, we did.
yeah, just got up the inside at turn 2, stroke 3. Gets his position back and moves back up into P2.
Ooh, and Kenneth is fairly close to Chris now, coming up to the chicanes. but he's not close enough to make a move, so he stays behind. But oh, Chris nearly made a mistake. Nearly lost the back end of his car. So is Kenneth gonna try and do it again at the second to last hand turn? Oh, Chris seemed a little bit wide on the apex there, but Kenneth dropped out. Unfortunately, that ruined the chance for him to go for a move there.
We're just over halfway through the race at the moment. Mr. Torres with, I think it's safe to say, barring any catastrophe, an unsaleable or ungainable advantage, 24 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that Martin's closing it at all.
It's the biggest gap we've seen so far. We're only halfway through. It could actually be nearly a minute up at the end of the race at this pace.
Yeah, well, we have to remember that Martin spun out, of course, at the beginning of the race,
And
which
also,
dropped him back a lot of
yeah,
positions.
Torres is obviously he's fast enough that he's going to be going through back markers at some point. So you never know. Things can happen. Things can slow people down. But this battle
Only
between
if it rains.
Chris and Kenneth Engel and Andreasen is still heating up.
It definitely is. Chris holds a better line now and keeps the back end under control. So that creates a little bit more of a gap for him. And Kenneth is gonna pit. So there you go.
Is he going to try a cunning undercut?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will. At some parts of the track, he did seem
Oh, he
a little
missed his
bit
pit
quicker than
box.
Chris.
He's missed his pit box. He's had to reverse. That was really weird that I did that because I wasn't going to follow him. And then I thought, oh, I'll just follow him. Maybe I've given him the commentator's pit box curse.
And we saw the car coming up onto the jack, so he's changing tires.
I'm not too sure that's a wise move.
No.
Must have done that by accident. If that's the case.
Didn't uncheck that box.
But he's out again.
So Chris Needham's also on the way out.
So the field is spread out quite a lot, to be honest, with 25 minutes of racing. So we're just over the halfway mark.
Still have 9 people left to pit though.
That's true. That's definitely true.
The top 9 have not entered the box yet, so still time for the battles. Because if you think about it, all the battles that were happening so far, one of them has pitted. So obviously, you never know which way is going to be the best way to go, whether it's the boxing early or whether it's boxing after. But we shall see, I guess. There we go.
Chris coming in.
If he gets a good stop, doesn't miss his box, takes the fast repair.
Oh, bumper straight out. I see Hattie's posted that apparently, I can't remember who was in the pit just now. Was it Andreasen?
Yeah.
He's changed his tyres every race apparently,
Oh,
which is a bit strange. But
there we
hey,
see
he's
Darren
leading the
Goebel.
amateurs, so something works.
Darren Goebel's into the pits, and Yannick Fourcade is also into the pits.
And Chris is coming out again, but we are now Chardonnay in P4, and Mr. Ramirez in P5, and Alex Hurt in P6. And of course, we know that Alex had a little bit of a incident as well in the hairpin, being rear-ended by another driver. So
Darren Goble comes out just in front of Chris Needham. So that's going to be a nice little battle.
for the AM Championship, yes indeed.
Yeah.
Mark, who's currently in front of who?
Well, Torres is winning.
No, I mean in the AM Championship. I'm sorry.
Okay, Kenneth Andreasen just needs finishing the points and he's wrapped it up for this season in first. Chris Needham is only 8 points ahead of Darren Goble, second and third, and Jason Hannington's another 10 points behind Darren Goble in
But that
fourth.
means if Darren Goble stays in front of Chris Needham, that it's gonna be a close one for the last race of the season.
Yeah, who is it? Kenneth Andreasen, I presume, technically still first, isn't he? So, Darren Goble. That's right. I'm just trying to work this out. So Darren is second at the moment, and Chris Needham is third. So what's the difference in points? Phil?
Oh, and
Second
Darren Goble
third?
makes a mistake. He goes wide.
Ah, look at that.
And we
bit
can't
of
see it
pressure,
'cause of
Stop
the
talking
trees.
about
Well,
it.
Chris Needham
He's still
went onto the inside in the grass. Yeah, Darren Goble hit the wall, unfortunately.
Oh, and the bloody trees
That
got in the
kills
way.
that conversation.
I think in
So-
future we won't talk about battles. We'll just,
Why not? Oh,
We just let the race go. No commentary at all.
So what happened with Chris? Did he also go off track? He did, but just
Yeah, he did. He lost the rear end of his car, but he had a better one than Darren. That's for
he
sure.
only had a minor back end to come out. Minor, wasn't nothing too tragic. So just to cheer you up, Phil, Tottenham are actually losing.
well, that is good. Everyone loves
That's good. As West Ham nearly lost.
Spurs losing.
Every cloud.
Go on board then with our race leader as he goes round to complete another lap. The back half of the lap, anyway.
I was just looking, actually, he must have overtaken a few cars so far. 3. Yeah, he's done the back 3 at the moment.
Alex Hertz just moved into P5 on, and Shannon 8 is into the pits.
Oh, it's your friends again, Phil. Haven't heard him for a while.
Less people dying on the streets of Tottenham, that's what it is.
Oh, God.
There we go, he is into the pits.
Torres comes
There he
into
goes.
the pits. Yes, he does.
So where's
And it's
Martin?
such a tricky pit entry. It seems like Martin is coming in as well, and he does.
Ooh.
Must be the lap. Must be the lap where they've run out of fuel.
Is that all of them in now, then?
3 left to pit. We've got Alex Hurt, Hector Hernandez Ramirez, and Luis Santiago.
So Luis Santiago may fuel safe a little bit and could go one more lap then.
The battle between Kenneth Engel Andreasen and Chris Slaymaker is back on, boys.
Has Chris pitted then? He normally likes doing his lastminute.com pits, doesn't he?
Yeah, Chris is pitted. Yeah, we watched him go into the pits before. I was trying to make him, trying to see whether he'd made the mistake that Kenneth did, which was overshoot his pits.
Overshoot it. So that could well have cost him the place, essentially.
Well, he was in front of Kenneth, of course, but Kenneth was close.
I
And
think it cost him
you
more than
could
half
see-
a second, didn't it?
You could see he's a little bit quicker than Chris, so he pulled that gap down again, and it's now back on. So under half a second.
There's a question for you there, Philip, from Mr. Half Moon Raider. As you're the one
It's
job, know your shit, whatever it is.
SDK.
Yeah, SDK Half Moon Rider.
Oh, and Chris went a little bit
43.
wide. Chris went a little bit wide to the hairpin, and that makes that Kenneth Engel Andresen is in front. So will Chris be able to stay on the back of Kenneth and try to fight back that position? Can we have a quick look at the fastest lap times, Phil?
Sure can. 1 second. Wait.
We've got three of the top four are in the pits. Mr.
So,
Santiago's just coming out.
As suspected,
Second.
it's Mr. Torres with the fastest lap time of 1:35.6 in the race. And I think Martin is the second quickest with a 1:36.3, so that's exactly 7/10 of a second. And as I've said before, Kenneth has a little bit of a better pace than Chris, so he seems to be pulling a gap. But that will be a great result for Kenneth, currently running in P4. It seems like we've got a nice little battle, as we see on screen, between Yannick Fouquet and Alex Hurth for 8th place. But Mr. Torres has extended his lead to 31 seconds. Good evening, Joe Etley. Thanks for watching. For everybody else, if you're new to the channel, we would appreciate the follow. And for everybody watching, I would stay a little bit longer than the finish. I won't say anything more than that, but
On Shannon is now giving Chris Slaymaker a good little run into the last 10 minutes of the race.
so Razes. Yeah, Chris is trying to hold on, but he just doesn't seem to have the pace to keep in front, but still. Phil, can you give Karen Williams some time as well?
Have some love.
Give him some love. Some screen love.
There he is. He's just currently, well, he's just been overtaken by Torres. So who's in front of Kieran Williams at the moment? Matt Grant.
Matt Grant. Yeah.
Matt's slightly just pulling away, so not looking good for any more positions for Kieran, but he's done well. He's still with it. He's gonna get points. You never know. I think he could be on P. Let's have a look. Who's gonna be?
Well, Chris Slaymaker's just gone into 5th.
He still was, so probably Arnout.
Oh, was it? They're having a little scrap then. Oh no, he's gone back.
Yeah, there we go. Arnout has overtaken Chris for P5th. So that puts Chris in P6, but he's still close behind. He wasn't able to fight Kenneth Engel and race him, but will he be able to give it to Arnout then?
Oh, there's been a tap. They have collectors each
Oh.
other.
Ooh.
Chris is gonna wait. Yeah, Chris is gonna wait.
He does. Fair play, fair play. Luckily, it wasn't a big hit.
It wasn't a big hit. Nobody lost any positions, so that's what we like to see. Yannick 4K and Alex Hurt aren't too far behind though, so Alex Hurt's just got that slight lead at the moment as they go through the tyre chicanes. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from Yannick 4K. Yeah, just
Oh,
He did well to hold
well,
it. Did well to hold it.
He
Sure
definitely did well. So he didn't lose that much, but maybe just enough to end that battle between the both of them. But Chris still trying to hold on with Arnout. He's just over half a second behind him. And Arnout running a little bit wide, coming out of the second to last hand turn. That means that Chris is right up on his back side for turn one. Was some hard defending by Arnout, but he keeps Chris behind, so we're going up to the hairpin again. And all goes well.
Alex Hurt and Yannick 4K are right on the back now, so this is going to become a four-way little train seeing us into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that moment that Arnout had at the second to last turn, it cost him that much pace or speed that, as well as Alex Hurt and Yannick Fouquet could close up. But it's lovely to see with 5 minutes to go. Although Chris probably is thinking, I don't want to lose any more positions. Stay away. Well, then he had to go defensive there because Alex had a very good run there.
Kieran Williams is now in 12th place. He has made up a position. Hector Hernandez Ramirez has made a mistake. And he must have had to have pitted it. Just take
So
a
we've
look
got
at what
Joe
happened there.
Joe Hadley cheering on for Kenneth, and Kenneth is doing a good job, currently running in P4, and he is the AM leader in the championship. And as it's looking now, he will grab the championship by tonight.
Alex Hurt's just made a mistake.
Yannick Fouquet's through.
Yeah, Yannick Fouquet put his car on the inside. Was a nice move.
And takes himself into P7. I guess the good thing about being in one of these battles, even though you're probably sweating, Alex has
made a little bit of a mistake again out of the exit of the hairpin, so he's dropping back a little bit, but Yannick Fouquet is, he's putting a nice little pressure on Chris. It's all for P6. And Chris still seems to be able to follow Arnout. Not quite sure if he's close enough to try and take P5th.
Gonna look for the inside.
But Chris holds the position.
Yeah, he was very aware of it coming in.
But it doesn't suit Chris to have to be defensive against Yannick because, of course, he can't follow Arnout that well. Ooh, Chris went a little bit wide. Yannick trying to have a run for turn one. And he seems to get the job done. Although Chris is still on the outside. Oh yeah, Yannick took a little bit of the inside curb. It unsettled the car. So Chris is still in P6 and Yannick in P7. And I'm thinking that we've got about 2 laps left. Oh, Alex
Alex is
where you
going on
going?
safari.
Detour. You take the shortcut.
Well,
Oh, you can...
fair play to him. He
Yo,
got it back
Barrio
on track
Crush.
and actually made the corner. So, I mean,
Style points.
yeah, star points for that one. That was good.
We know it's not easy to keep your car in line on the grass.
No, it's
It seems like you're driving on ice.
yeah, the
once you're on
slightest
there,
turn,
so-
and you almost feel like you're about to spin like 9
Yeah.
times. So,
But look at Chris and Arnoud. And Yannick, don't forget Yannick. It's a nice little three-way battle, and there's not even half a second between the three, so it's gonna be interesting.
Chris
I
goes.
think we've got about 2 laps left. Oh,
Yeah.
little mistake by Chris.
Yeah, Chris went for
Oh,
it.
Yannick goes wide. Yannick
Yannick's
goes
gone
wide.
wide. Yeah, Chris went for the move, slightly clipped the grass, so he lost a little bit of speed. That allowed Yannick through. Oh no, Alex is. I'm just. Yeah, I think Alex is just eating shit there. I think that's the only way we can describe that one.
savage. That was savage.
Oh, and Arnoud is coming into the pits. What's going on? What is going on?
What's his penalties? Is he ain't got a drive through, is he?
I don't think. No, we don't. We don't generally dish out penalties during the race. We sort them
is
out
it after?
afterwards. Yeah.
For instance,
I mean-
I was talking about instant penalty things.
Oh, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
That must have been a drive-through
That's the
penalty.
case. Yeah. Ah, that's gonna hurt as well. Yeah. So that puts Chris back into P5. And Yannick Fouquet in a good P6. And look at Chris Needham and Darren Goebel, by the way. Can't forget about those two. P7 and P8.
So we're going to be on the last lap now with Jaime Torres. Comfortable lead. He can probably park up, have a cup of tea and still finish first.
Well, it'd have to be a very quick one. 35 seconds to do it.
Oh, that's an eternity in motorsport, you know that.
Yeah, brilliantly driven from start to finish.
Very consistent all year, isn't it? All
Yeah,
season.
he's obviously I think he was probably a little bit lucky that Martin had an incident earlier on in the race, so didn't get that fight that he probably deserved to have. But
Well, it's like they say, you can only fight what's in front of you. And there hasn't been anything in front of him for quite a while. Maybe you need to bring back that reverse grid.
oh, the Carnage grid. I'm not sure about that.
The public lobby equivalent. Mind you, in fairness, that was in GTEs rather than the Mazdas, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That is true. Yeah, I think maybe slower classes probably would work, but yeah. Anyway, so Torres is coming around the final corner to take the round 7 win at Oulton Park Island.
And the championship
And the
officially.
championship. Yes, indeed.
And here he goes. Our season 2 MX5 champion.
And I've got to wait 36 seconds.
Come back, come to your room. Come back.
And Matt Grant has finished as well as he was lap car, but he finished in 10th position.
Yeah, as well as Kieran Williams. So Kieran Williams finishes in P11.
Well done, Kieran.
Romeo Martin now finishes in P2. Let's have a look where Luis Santiago is. He's not too far behind actually, so he's done well there. Holds P3. And if Angel Andreasen or AM
The
Championship.
AM champ. Yes, indeed.
Another bandit 4th. I think that's his second.
I think you
So
can
well done to
safely-
Kenneth.
You can safely say that he will not be in the AM Championship next season.
No. And then we've got Chris, who was lucky for the mistake that was made. Or not necessarily the mistake, but the drive-through for Arnoud. That gives him P5, and there, a good finish by Yannick Fouquet in P6. Chris Needham finishes in P7. Darren Goebel close behind in P8. And then we've got Arnold Chanier, and I think that rounds it up.
I think that does round it up. So yeah, there we go. We can go to our race results then.
Mark, I'll leave it up to you, mate.
Good stuff. Okay, so result Island course. Jaime Torres, our new Season 2 champion, finishes from start to finish with 36-second lead over Iron Martin, who finishes in second. Luis Santiago third. Kenneth Andreasen, our leading amateur and championship winner in the amateur class, in fourth. Chris Slaymaker fifth. Yannick Fourcade sixth. Chris Needham in seventh. Darren Goebel eighth. Arnold Chalier in ninth. Matt Grant lap down in 10th, Kieran Williams in 11th, Hector Ramirez in 12th, Alex Hurt 13th, Derek Meisner 14th, David Patterson 15th, Jason Hamilton 16th, and Duncan Kirby 17th.
So there we go, that rounds that out. What have we got for next? We have the MX5 Season 3, which will start on Wednesday the 11th of March. So there will be a 1 week gap after this finishes, which we may do something. I'm not entirely sure. I might just put up something a little bit fun, a little bit random. I'm not too sure yet, but we can see where we're actually going to go for Season 3. So we're going to go Summit Point Full, haven't been there this season. Watkins Glen, we've not been there this season. Oulton Park Fosters, so the shorter track of the one we've just done, which I think will provide slightly better and closer racing throughout. Lime Rock Chicanes, which always brings up a good race in these. Silverstone National, that will be on the new circuit, so just be aware that that is a paid circuit. There's 4 free circuits and 4 paid circuits within this championship. So Laguna Seca, that was on this season. Phoenix Road Course, that was season 1, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, it was.
Don't think we did that in season 2, and then we round the season off at Monza GP. Now, Monza GP, I put it in there because I think it'll be quite interesting to see the drafting manoeuvres.
It's going to be a one-lap race, isn't it? It'll take them half hour to get round.
Yeah, that is true, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so registration will.
Obviously.
No, these are set in stone.
Are they? Ooh.
Yeah, these are all set in stone. So, yeah, that obviously starts on the 11th of March. Sign up will be open from tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And all the information you need will be on our Discord server, so just go to discord.cxr-racing.com and that will take you straight to our Discord without any funky links and funky invites.
I think we'll see it when you go to the this season for the last round. We've got a nice pop-up there for the Discord.
Yeah, we sure do. Do I have that posted? I do, there we go. So round 8, the last round of the season next week will be at Charlotte Road Course. I'm looking forward to that one because Charlotte Road Course last time was it was an amazing race, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, looking forward to season 3. It could possibly be the last MX5 season, at least maybe till the end of the year. We do have something in the pipeline for after the MX5, so look out for that because I'm feeling like there's going to be information coming from that in maybe about 3 or 4 weeks' time, but we'll see. Yeah, we shall see.
We shall see indeed.
Yeah, so we will be back next week for round 8, Charlotte Road Course, the final race of the season. And hopefully we have Mark and Ruben back with me. Done a sterling job all season.
Yes, of course. It's
So,
gonna
yeah.
be a good one. I mean, both P1s for the Pro and AM Championship is done and dusted, but still, people have positions to fight for, so it's gonna be a good last race of the season.
I'm just thinking if so now Romain Martin will have too many points, so he'll be finishing probably second, and then Luis Santiago in third. So that actually wraps up the Pro standings.
the Pro
but
League,
the
yeah, not too
AM
far ahead,
standings actually are still quite close. I mean, you've got Chris Needham, Darren Goebel, Jason Hallinson, who were on 78, 70 and 60 points before this round. So obviously with a few points going up, etc., we'll see where they all are, and hopefully we have some AM battles that we'll be keeping an eye on next week to see who finishes in second and third in the AM tables. So I think that's about it from me. Yeah, I think it is. So I will say thank you, and I'll pass over to Ruben and Mark to do their little thank yous, and then we'll see you later.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank you
watching.
very much.
Give a follow, and like Phil said, if you want to join the season 3 of the Global Mazda MX5s, go to the Discord as stated on the bottom of your screen, and we'll see you next week.
Thank
We
you guys.
will. See you
Bye-bye.
when you're older. Night night.